Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarvat Ehsan, and I'm the Executive Director with the CFA Society Pakistan. Allow me to welcome you all on behalf of the Society to this session, a joint session with CFA Institute, APAC region, and CFA Society Pakistan on the ARX, which is the Asia Pacific Research Exchange. I will not delve into details, and I will request Scott, who is the director of ARX, to please introduce yourself and your colleague Piotr. Welcome, and over to you, Scott.
Thank you so much, Sawat, and hello, everyone. My name is Scott Slee, Director of the CFA Institute Asia Pacific Research Exchange. That's why you have me today in this session. And I'm very delighted to join the session with my colleague to brief you about what ARX is, how you can consume contents, contribute contents for ARX, and expand your professional network. So, without further ado, ARX, the CFA Institute Asia Pacific Research Exchange, is actually a hub that we are trying to bring together different stakeholders in the finance and investment industry to share, learn, and engage on relevant contents and thought leadership work surrounding the region. It is a platform for regional specific contents. And right now, the ARX website actually hosts over 3,800 pieces of content about finance and investment management issues. It is a co-creation and co-ownership by CFA Institute as well as CFA societies in APAC, including, of course, the host of tonight, CFA Society Pakistan. ARX is actually a tool to help us better achieve our objectives in terms of advocating professional excellence, in terms of delivering professional learning opportunities to members and stakeholders in the industry, and is a great tool for us to manage stakeholder engagement. On the other hand, through leveraging ARX, we are hoping to bridge different constituents in the industry, which includes CFA charter holders, candidates, and other industry players, including academic researcher or other analysts, fund managers, etc., within the APAC investment management community. And as I mentioned, hope that through ARX, we can all expand our professional network and enhance our professional skills. Without further ado, I would like to pass the time to my colleague, Piotr Sembrowski, the content manager of ARX, to talk about the website. But before that, I would just like to do a couple of pollings with you. So first of all, I would like to learn more from you. How would you best describe yourself? Are you an academic researcher? Are you an analyst? Are you an individual investor? Are you an investment professional or other professional, for example, accountants? And while I'm waiting for the results to come in, I must say that I would like to make this session today an interactive one. So feel free to communicate using the chat button or to raise any questions using the Q&A box located in the toolbar. Okay, I think I'll end the poll now and share the results. A majority of you would be students, but also evenly split. It would be academic researcher, analyst, investment professional, and other professionals like accountant. Great, thank you so much. And let's have another poll, which is, I would like to know whether you've engaged with ARX before. So now you should see the poll. Feel free to respond to it. Have you been reading any research contents on ARX? Have you contributed any research on ARX? Have you attended any seminars or webinars with the ARX logo attached to it? If you haven't, then you can, of course. That's why you're here, right? For us to tell you more about it. Okay, we wait for 5 more seconds. And let's have the result now. Okay, looks good. So, well, majority of you would like us to tell you more about it, which is great because that's why we're here. All right, Piotr, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Piotr Zembrowski. I'm the content manager of ARX. How do you get that job? Well, I used to work as a financial journalist in Hong Kong, so I have experience in writing and editing. So yes, I work for ARX. My duties for ARX is basically making sure that we present the right content and in the right form, in the good form, user-friendly, and that it's meaningful. And I also do a certain level of quality control of the content of ARX. So as Scott gave you a general idea, ARX is a very rich ecosystem of many different kind of events and relations and so on. But at the core of it, there is a website. The website, which is an online platform where you can contribute and read research. The URL is arx.cfa. Please note, it's not .com, it's .cfa. The website works very well online, on the desktop, but also on mobile. I'll show you what it looks like on mobile in a moment. This is the main page. What you see right now is the main page. The main way to access research is at the top of the screen. There is a research button. You can click on it, and this will get you to the basically the whole database of research that ARX has. As Scott mentioned, we are kind of close to 4,000 pieces of research contributed over the last 4 years. And as you see on this screen, the pieces of research can be filtered by topics, by country, you can by language. There are some things that are not showing on the screen here. You can also filter by professional learning. So basically, they are the pieces of content that have been assigned professional learning credits for CFA Institute members. Another way to look for things is basically the search box in the upper right-hand corner. You can search by keywords, by topics, by authors, by institutions, and so on. This is what it looks like on mobile. I'll just briefly show you the main difference. Basically, the menu is a little different. You have to click on this little button which says menu, and only then you get access to the same options as on the top of a regular page. Basically, research, my submissions, that's where you make a submission. And there are a couple of other areas like contributing institutions and the list of events that we organize. Let's look at a different section on the website. Basically, in addition to just looking for the content that you want by searching or filtering, you can also browse collections of articles that we have curated for you. The main collection of the articles is basically new and notable. This page is updated every week. And it lists what we consider the best, highest quality contributions made recently. Most read, that's where you can see what other people are reading, basically the most viewed, most downloaded content. There's a web page that shows professional content, professional learning content, which is basically our selection of the best content with professional learning credits. And we also have a page that shows, that basically lists all the webinars that either we have hosted or others have hosted and submitted the links to ARX. At the bottom of the page, on the left side, there are areas, more topical areas, where with links to pages on current interesting topics. For example, we have a page, as you see, on COVID-19. There has been quite a lot of articles submitted on COVID-19 and effect on the financial industry or economies of various countries. ESG Environmental, social, and corporate governance issues is a very popular topic, so we have a page devoted to that. Another very popular type of content we have is a series on sector analysis, fundamental analysis of various sectors. I invite all the analysts or aspiring analysts to have a look. That's a content that was created by CFA Institute. And it's very popular. At the bottom of the page, you see a list of upcoming events. Those constantly change as the events get announced. Now let me quickly go over how you would submit an article. You would need to click on the My Submissions area in the main menu, and then the submissions options will appear underneath. Create a post, a place where you can view your post or add your biography. Before you can actually make a submission, you need to log in. And as for reading the content, you do not need to log in. To submit content, you do need to log in, and it's the same login as the CFA Institute login. So basically, if you have an account with CFA Institute, you use the same account. If you don't, then you can create an account here. It's going to be an ARX account, and you can use that to log in. To create a post, you basically click a link, create a post, and you are brought to a page where you are asked to enter quite a lot of information. It's really not as much as it looks. It's not very time consuming, but definitely we need the title of the post. We need a brief description up to 250 characters. We need the authors. And the next one is basically a link to your post. You have two options there. You can either link, if your content, if a PDF file, for example, or a webinar is already uploaded on the website, you can click the first option and cut and paste a link, or you can just upload a PDF. If your content is not hosted anywhere, you have a PDF, you can upload it there. And despite of what the website says, we actually like PDFs. And PDFs is really a better form of content when you upload a PDF that we host, because then we can make sure that the link is always valid and so on. You can, if you are concerned that you are losing control over it, don't fret, because you can actually delete that content later if you decide not to share it anymore. So, but in the meantime, we do prefer PDFs rather than links. There is a little more information that we ask for, publication, whether it's specific to any location or language. But also, as you see, there is an area saying I'm posting on behalf of either myself or an institution. In my case, it's CFA Institute, because that's my institution. And here, this option appears for those people who are allowed or authorized to post on behalf of their institution. We will talk about it a little later. Scott will tell you. So, for example, if one of you would like to post on behalf of your own institution, we welcome that. We actually are very happy. But there is one more extra step that has to be done. And in order to arrange that, Scott will talk about it a little later. Now, a little more kind of bookkeeping things. As I said, no login is required to read or browse or search posts and articles. All content is free, free to read, free to download. However, a CFA Institute login is required to submit content. Institutional contributors need to complete a trademark license agreement. When an article is submitted to us, we approve it, mostly myself. It takes several days, depending on the workload here. We usually make sure to approve it within 1 week. And upon approval or rejection, the author receives an email confirmation. As for what type of content we are looking for, this is Asia Pacific Research Exchange. So we are looking for content with substantial original research or educational value. These are the two kind of main types of content, either substantial original research or educational value. We want that content to be relevant to finance and investment professionals in Asia Pacific. We want that content to have a long shelf life. So for that reason, we do not accept press releases. We do not accept market updates that will not be valid, 2 weeks from now. We want content that somebody can read half a year from now or a year from now and still find value in it. We accept content in many languages. Of course, the English language content would find the biggest audience. However, other languages are welcome, and in particular, we have quite a lot of content in Chinese and Japanese, for example. In addition to the website, to posting articles on the website, we curate a social media promotion and newsletter promotion. So basically, every day we choose an article that has been recently submitted, and we create a post to be posted on CFA Institute Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts. That is distributed globally. It reaches an audience of, if my memory serves me right, CFA Institute has about 200 or 300,000 followers on Facebook. On Twitter, it's even bigger, about 500,000. So our posts have quite a big audience on social media. In addition to that, once a month, we send out a newsletter with the best posts submitted during that month. It's sent to a list of people who subscribe, mostly charter holders, but not only. Anybody can subscribe. So if you'd like to subscribe to our newsletter, please go to the main page, and at the bottom of the screen, you can see it on the right page, on the right side right now. At the bottom of the screen, there is a box in which you can subscribe to our newsletter. We curate the content in various pages. We actually want to make sure that the content we present to you, in addition to, we want to make it basically easy for you to find interesting content. So the content we want to present to you is current. As you see on the new and notable page, we select every week the newest articles. The page contains articles from the last 3 months, but it's refreshed every week. Most read, it's refreshed once a month. That's how often we get our stats. Research, you've seen that already. Events and webinars. We conduct quite a lot of webinars or events, and we list all upcoming ones on this page. So please have a look, see what's coming up, and visit often. This page is also current and refreshed often. We want the content that we present to you to be topical. So we have created a few collections of articles. So for example, on the economic impact of COVID-19 or ESG, as I mentioned earlier, sector analysis, but also on fintech. I didn't mention fintech, but we have a page on fintech, which has been actually quite interesting. There are some materials about artificial intelligence, about blockchain, about big data. So that's where all that content is curated. And we also want the content to be engaging. In my opinion, the most engaging content that we have are webinars. We've had a few dozen webinars already this year. This year, well, everybody has webinars. So, but we have actually produced very interesting content with our partners or just based on our own research. Most of the webinars are recorded and they are presented on a page like this, what you see here to the right. You can watch it at your leisure for free, complete webinar, including Q&As. We also have created a student corner that was in collaboration with certain volunteers from societies. who suggested that students actually would want to have some specific content geared to them. So we've curated some more educational content and career-oriented content in our student corner. Before I hand back to Scott to talk about the events and basically everything else that happens around the online platform, I would like to ask you to fill out another poll. We would like to know a little more about your interests, whether you have used ARX or are thinking of using ARX. Please let us know. How do you access the website? How would you access the website? Mostly on a computer or laptop, or mostly mobile? Are you interested in academic research papers? Do you like watching webinars? Do you look for career resources? Do you look for professional learning content? Or do you look for market updates and investment ideas? And please check all that apply to you. You can check more than one. So we'll give you maybe 10 seconds. Okay, let's have a look at the results. Okay, that's very interesting. That's most of you look for market updates and investment ideas. That's very useful to know. Professional learning content, that's the second one. The third one, look for career resources. The fourth one was like watching webinars, and some of you are interested in academic research papers. And I'm seeing here that more of you, about 64%, use a computer or a laptop. Fewer use mobile, but still a substantial amount, about 40%. Thank you. That's a very valuable feedback for us. That brings me to the end of basically a walkthrough through the platform. Scott is now going to tell you a little more about the events we organize, about how we collaborate with societies. So please, over to you, Scott.
Thank you, Piotr. So as I can see, while Piotr is showing you around this ARX website, there are already questions coming in. So keep them coming, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. So as Piotr mentioned, website, the arx.cfa is actually the essence of ARX, or the core of ARX. But surrounding that, or on top of that, there are a lot of engagements. Remember, the rationale behind building ARX is to foster the sharing, learning, and engagement among stakeholders in the region on relevant finance and investment management topic. So how are we doing this? As Piotr mentioned, ARX has been built 4 years by now. So what have we done along the years? First of all, stakeholder engagement. For those of you who have been on ARX website, if you take a deeper look at the contents, you'll soon realize that maybe out of those 4,000 pieces of content, around 5 to 10% of those are contributed or authored by CFA Institute. A lot other contents are actually contributed by individuals, academic researchers, as well as the institutional contributors here. And on this screen here, I'm showcasing some of them. For example, think tanks and associations like ACCA, ACGA, ASIFMA, asset management, bank and brokerages, and of course, CFA societies as the co-owners of the ARX. On the other hand, we also get the support from a lot of the financial services firms, the big ones like Bloomberg, Morningstar, S&P Dow Jones Indices. They're all contributing on ARX. And in terms of education institutions, obviously we have universities supporting us, and we have stock exchange as well. Singapore Stock Exchange is a frequent contributor on ARX. So, after showcasing all these firms' names and logos, some of you may have a question and say, hey, I may want to get my firm on board as a contributor, as an institutional contributor as well. What should I do? Here are the steps. You can get your firm to contact us to sign a logo licensing agreement. Afterwards, we asked you to kindly provide your institution's logo, description, context of representative who has created an account on ARX. And then from our end, we will do the affiliation to make the representative part of the institution, such that when the individual is being authorized, he or she may start contributing on behalf of the institutions by going through the steps that Piotr showcased before. And of course, once you're interested, feel free to drop an email to info@arx.cfa or simply contact me and Piotr, and we'll walk you through these steps. Another engagement that ARX is generating is the seamless partnerships with societies. And on this screen here, as you can see, ARX has actually formed a society engagement committee where we are partnering with 20 societies in the APAC region to help connect us to contributors in the region, in the local markets, to help amplify our quality contents, to reach out to stakeholders like yourselves and our members for professional learning purposes, and conduct other activities as well. With their support as a co-ownership and co-creation, we were able to organize 82 events last year amid COVID. So here are some of the online and offline engagements examples. For example, the ARX contents or our other initiatives are being promoted and showcased in the exhibitions, events, conferences, maybe career forums and investment conferences. Like Society Pakistan, they're creative enough to create awards, ARX awards, to accredit the research and brokerage firms in the local markets. Professional learning, getting investment insights is no doubt on top of your minds, according to the polling. So here are some of the examples on how we conduct events in various places, leveraging on the quality contents that live on the ARX website. For example, ESG, I don't think I need to explain how popular ESG is to the finance and investment management fields. So we've been organizing ESG forums and seminars in Hong Kong, and in fact, Singapore and other places as well. We've also organized fintech related topics, seminars in Singapore, Malaysia, and Quant's conference in Shanghai. And as you can see on the screen here, corporate governance or dual class shares topics in Korea, or startup valuation and fundraising kind of PE, VC seminars in Bangladesh. Well, obviously, a lot or most of those actually took place before COVID. So what's after? When COVID hit us, what did we do? The team quickly switched from offline seminars to online webinars. And here are some of the examples. For example, ESG, we have conducted climate risk and ESG investing webinar together with our own thought leaders within CFA Institute, as well as our society leaders and other industry leaders, like ESG lead from GMO from Singapore, and also representative from BNP Paribas, private wealth management side. And then we have conducted ESG risk in natural rubber sector. That one was conducted jointly with Society Indonesia and Sport, which is part of Zoological Society of London, that's based in the UK. And then we have done ESG disclosure webinar in Asia Pacific. Underneath, as you can see, we've conducted some capital markets policy related topics seminar, for example, sales inducement in Asia Pacific, as well as sector analysis research. Next is about bridging academics to practitioners. So together with societies, we work together to identify the top quality research paper conferences in various markets in this region. And ARX and CFA Institute will be sponsoring Best Paper Research Awards. And as you can see on the screen here, we have in the past sponsored and participated in conferences in New Zealand, the Australia Finance and Banking Conference, Research Paper Conference in Indonesia, and Research Paper Conference in India. On the other hand, we also support the ethics case competition or ethics challenge that is happening in many markets, including Pakistan. So, well, if for some of you who have participated in the ethics case challenge, congratulations for the winners. And we will actively consider your case to work with you afterwards to see whether we can host some of the contents or write-ups on the ARX website. I actually, while Piotr was presenting, I see a question that I would like to maybe take some time to address here. One person raised the questions asking, how will adding my well-researched content at ARX help him or her? So I think, which is, very great question. So through recruiting quality contents, we hope to generate a mutually beneficial situation for us, for our members, as well as contributors. So for example, for us, we hope to host quality contents that we can share with the community. And for contributors' sake, we hope that through this ARX platform, he or she can share the quality research with a broader audience, a much broader audience, for both online, let's say, social media and email channels like Piotr showcased, as well as this one. So for example, we worked with Professor Yoshino, the former Dean of ADB Institute, to conduct speaking tour. As you can see here, we have got him to speak to our charter holders in Shenzhen, in Shanghai, Singapore, and other markets to talk about his new research on financing infrastructure in Asia. So if your research is quality enough, we'll get in touch with you, and together we can explore similar opportunities. Because for us, as a non-profit making professional body, one of the objectives that we are trying to do here is to serve the greater good of society. So we can't do it on our own, just based on the CFA program. We need partners. We need more quality contents. We need to work hand in hand to educate the community. And together, we hope to enhance the investment knowledge and the professional practices and the professional excellence of the industry. Which leads to another theme, which is building market integrity through doing advocacy work. So over the years, we have supported regulators and government units in their financial literacy work by organizing investor education seminars and conferences, like the one on your top right-hand corner. It was actually conducted earlier this month during the IOSCO Investor Week. That takes place every first week of October. We also support some other investor education or investor protection initiatives that's organized by the local regulator and government. For example, in Hong Kong, we supported the Hong Kong Money Month, which was on in the March of the year. IOSCO Investor Week, as I've mentioned before, and the one on the right is the Securities Commission Working Paper Forum. On the other hand, we were delighted that leveraging on the resources and the network of ARX, we are able to encourage and to support local research. Two examples here on your screen are, the one on your left first is that we were able to pull together a team of 9 CFA charter holders to work together on a research report that talks about China education industry market insights. And the one on your right is the FinTech report authored by CFA Society Pakistan. In addition to supporting that, we are also very delighted to be able to support their webinars, and because it has got a very rich context of Islamic finance. Later on, we developed this piece into a series of Islamic finance webinar that is jointly organized by ARX, CFA Society Pakistan, as well as CFA Society Malaysia, Indonesia, and Bangladesh. So, what's the next immediate action that we will hope you to take? First of all, subscribe to the ARX monthly e-newsletter or weekly updates such that you can receive our shortlisted high-quality submissions. Or, of course, you can feel free to browse the ARX website and make use of any contents. On the other hand, you can learn from the local society or the local society representatives, as I've showcased before, about current and upcoming events. Share any ideas or feedback that you have. Feel free to email us to info@arx.cfa, or of course, take the opportunity now to let us know what you think or what questions you have through the Q&A box. And of course, engage with your institute for potential contribution if you see value in this, be it giving back to the community to educate the wider audience together, or if you think you have a good quality, excellent piece of content that you would like to, and you don't mind sharing that with other investment professionals in the region. Last but not the least, follow CFA Institute on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We'll be sharing contents on a weekly basis. One of the examples about how we're leveraging the online contents to organize events is this one. As you can see on the screen, we are organizing an ESG in Credit webinar on the 17th of November that will be focusing on ESG integration in fixed income in practice. This is actually part of a series jointly organized by CFA Institute, ARX, as well as Fitch Ratings. And in every webinar, we intend to invite other industry professionals, gurus in this field, to come and share with us their insights. So in the upcoming one on the 17th of November, we have got guests from PRI and BlackRock to come and share. So if you're interested, it's a free webinar. Feel free to click on the website address or scan the QR code and to register. And of course, for more upcoming webinars, feel free to visit the events tab on the ARX website, and you'll be seeing a list of events that happens in the region. Thank you, and here is the website and the QR code. We hope to see you on ARX. We hope to receive your submissions anytime soon. And now let's take a look at what questions we have. Piotr, maybe I'll pass the time to you.
Yes, I would like to address one question. Hunain asked, can you share a bit more on how Student Corner works? So just very briefly, we have worked with volunteers in CFA societies around the region who are close to academia, who work with universities, who work with students daily, to help us curate a list of posts, articles submitted to ARX that would be of particular educational value for students. So we have created a list of about 24 articles. It's suggested by the volunteers and also selected by us. They span a range of topics from career in finance to various types of investments like equity investments, fixed income, asset allocation, and so on. The content that we chose for that is meant to be kind of more general, very educational, more comprehensive. So please check it out. I realized that it's not that easy to find at this moment. If you want to look for Student Corner, you basically have to go into the search box and type Student Corner. That's how you will get there. We are planning to make it much more prominent, to sit on the main page, and we are constantly working with our volunteers on updating, on finding new content among the posts, and basically make it as useful and as fresh as possible to help all the students.
So I have a question for you, and I wanted to understand how can our researchers be part of CFA Institute's research? I understand if they post their research, does that by any way make them eligible for doing research with CFA Institute?
Okay, thank you, Sawat. Thank you for the question. So, well, first of all, as I mentioned, we've in the past organized a lot of events. Like this year alone, amid COVID, we organized 82 events. In considering, what topic to organize and what events to organize and which speaker to invite. In addition to me and Piotr, we work with societies and work with society leaders, and we have committee members. We have ESG committee, Islamic Finance Committee, we have Student Corner Committee, FinTech Committee, and we will meet regularly to spot quality content, and we will proactively contact the authors to try to structure events. And in every event, we are trying to, in addition to inviting the researcher to come and share his or her piece of research, we will put together a panel like the one on the 17th of November, right? We will invite the sell side, buy side, possibly a regulator to join hands to discuss on a certain topic. But of course, like I said, we welcome any thoughts, any feedback, any suggestions. So if someone is very keen to work with us, or be it on research, be it on events, feel free to drop us email and we'll definitely consider and respond to you.
I see here another question. Please shed more light on various ways through which a faculty member can utilize this platform. So the platform has been created to link, to basically allow collaboration between academia and financial practitioners. So for a faculty member, for a professor, academic researcher, I myself see the biggest value in being able to present the research to financial practitioners, whether just by posting or by perhaps participating in events. We do invite researchers. We organize webinars or seminars with faculty, for example, from Hong Kong Technical University. Academics there have the ability to interact more directly with financial practitioners, and also the interaction goes both ways. So they can not only show off their research, but also gather feedback and basically bring their research a little more down to earth, down to the practitioner, to the practitioners. And for that also, we have in the past curated so-called practitioners briefs. When an academic article is submitted to our to ARX, the best articles, those, for example, that have won awards at various research competitions, we would hire a financial journalist who would create a practitioner's brief, basically to distill the gist of the big academic paper that practitioners might not have an appetite to read, into a manageable 3-4 pages summary of what's the most important in that academic paper. That would broaden the reach of the research even more widely to a bigger range of practitioners. And on the other hand, also, as I mentioned, Students' Corner, basically if you teach, then you might want to have a look at ARX for materials that might be useful for your students. You could recommend that students also do some of their research on ARX. I know that the ARX has not been created specifically for students, but students are part of our audience that we very welcome and we want to cater to. So we want to make it even more useful for students. If you have ideas of how to perhaps advise us how we make it even better for students, please let us know. Let's see. There are some other questions. There's some other questions that can answer. I think, can students publish individual research without involving faculty partners from the academic institutions? Yes. Here I would have to say that we are not looking. We are looking for substantial research content. So. An academic paper that would be ultimately destined to be published in a peer-reviewed journal, that quality is very welcome. We're happy to publish, preliminary version of the paper. However, if you are thinking of publishing, let's say, an essay that you wrote for a class, that will likely have less original research content, and we have been, depends what we get, we have been rejecting those in the past as the content might not be up to the level that our practitioners want to read.
Okay. I would just like to add on to Piotr's comment about how a faculty member can best utilize ARX platform. To be very simple, if you're a teaching staff, then promote this platform to your students, and they can get free access to up to 4,000 pieces of content, right? And if you are a research staff, like Piotr mentioned, in the past, I've actually invited professors from PolyU and SMU from PolyU from Hong Kong and SMU from Singapore to conduct webinars and events focusing on his or her working papers. And out from that, they can actually dish out polling and surveys to the participants. And from then, hopefully they generated qualitative, quantitative feedback from the participants to refine his or her research going on. And I did see that happening, like the professor from SMU. He gathered feedback and he further worked on his paper, and later on he got published in one of the finance journals. So let's answer a couple of other questions. One person asked, what is the responsibility of the institutional partner? Well, there isn't a mandate for, let's say you must, as an institutional contributor, you must upload X amount of pieces of content a year. So, but of course, in order for your name and your logo to appear on the ARX website, you must get at least one piece of your submission being approved and published by us on the ARX website. And down the road, I think there are opportunities where perhaps we can work together on events or research or any other initiatives.
Another question, how can new professionals working in impact investment take an active part in the ESG segment of ARX? The main answer that comes instantly to mind is contribute your research. We are happy to see any ESG articles or papers. ESG is very popular, and impact investment is closely related to ESG. We'll be happy to publish it. We'll be happy to promote it through social media. So that's the main way to engage. However, we welcome ideas. Contact us if you, for example, have an idea for a webinar, and you can perhaps round up some speakers from your institution or your society, and we'll listen, and we're definitely open to ideas.
Thanks.
So I have a question just on that comment on institutional partners. So if you want to be an institutional partner, you can agree to submit one paper which gets approved, and then you can. Is there a timeline to it? Is like you have to do it every year, or you have to do it every 6 months? How does that work?
There are no restrictions for institutional investors. So basically, we are happy. We would like to feel that an institutional investor is getting some benefit from posting research. Sorry, no, institutional contributor, that's what we're talking about, that is getting benefit from submitting to ARX. And we've had some contributors who have been very loyal, who have submitted dozens, if not hundreds of pieces so far. And obviously they do understand or do recognize the benefit of wider distribution of the research, their output. But there is no requirement in particular. We leave it up to the contributor to decide how often or how little they want to contribute, but the more the better for everyone.
Thank you. I see two questions that I would like to address here. First of all, can new professionals join the ESG committee that I mentioned if they're working in the relevant field? I would say for the existing members in that ESG committee, they were invited by us because they have contributed in either the thought leadership research on ARX that we spotted that are of great quality, or that they have spoken in our previous events. So if you're new to the CFA Institute world or ARX world, I think I will highly encourage you to, submit your contents or to send us your profile for us to consider maybe inviting yourself to speak at events, and that will start first. And then as time goes by, when the bonding is here, then we can hopefully consider to invite you into this ESG committee. So that's the question about the ESG committee. The other one is it possible to partner with researchers in other markets on prospective projects through this platform? This is a great question. Shasia, thank you so much for raising that. And my answer is yes, because as a contributor, you will be able to create your profile. There is an option for you to, fill out your bio and attach your picture on ARX. And as a reader, you will have a function, you'll be able to know more about the author by reading his or her bio. As such, when you see, let's say, a good quality piece of content, let's say on ESG, you will check out the author's profile. And if you would like to get in touch with him or her, there's a way to do so through the ARX platform. And we actually highly encourage that. Once again, it's about building a hub to facilitate the learning, exchange of ideas, engagement among the interested stakeholders in the industry. So please feel free to leverage this platform and try to get the best out of it.
Any more questions? So it's been a very useful and informative session, Scott and Piotr. We really appreciate your taking time out for us and helping us understand the platform better. I hope that we'll be able to interact more on that front. And from our side, thank you. Is there any last word that you'd like to contribute? Scott, Piotr?
Well, call to action, just like Scott earlier said, please check out the website, try to get engaged, post, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Don't forget, it's arx.cfa, not .com, arx.cfa. And hope to see you there.
Thank you. And from my side, I would just like to say thank you for making your effort to attend this session. I hope you find it useful. Do check out the website, as Piotr mentioned. On the other hand, in addition to following the CFA Institute channels, do follow the CFA Society Pakistan channels as well. They have been identifying and sharing quality contents for you guys. So, yep. I hope
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Piotr. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, team Natalie, everyone else who's been part of this effort. And thank you all the participants for being here today. And I hope that we'll continue engagement on this front. And thank you all. Okay, bye.